She threw the ring back at him. She just threw it at him. She didn't want it. $30,000 didn't matter. And that was when $30,000 was a lot of money for a wedding ring. She had grown cold. She was done. The money was good. He had a great career, but she was done. She'd grown cold and they had grown distant from one another. And there was a good reason for it. Has your wife grown cold? Or ladies, have you grown cold toward your husband? In my last video, I talked about why men grow cold. In this video, I want to talk to you about why women grow cold sometimes. And I want to give you 5 things that may be missing so that you can renew the sexual and relationship passion in your marriage. Hey, I'm Rod Harrison. I am a relationships expert and an executive marriage coach. I work with some pretty amazing people, some people who are very respected in their professions, especially in sports and some in business. And it's an absolute honor and joy to work with them to help these people who are succeeding powerfully in their public lives, but are struggling painfully in their private relationship lives. And this is not an uncommon topic or scenario when wives actually grow distant and they grow cold from the men that they once loved and admired very, very deeply. And I just wonder how many people are watching this video who are saying, this is my experience. Maybe your wife or your partner has grown cold. Maybe you are that wife or partner who has grown cold and you're trying to figure out, what is it? Why is this happening? And how do we get back on track? Because I want to remind you that it is absolutely possible to get the fire, to get the flame, to get that connection back in your relationship. I think of myself as a hope dealer. I like to give couples hope that anything is possible if we focus on the right solutions. All right, so let's talk about this. Why do women grow cold, distant, don't want no sex, don't want to be touched, don't even really want to be necessarily around the person they once loved and once admired and longed to be with? How does that happen? I want to give you what I call the 5 R's for renewal. And the first is you got to focus on resolution. I believe resolving stuff is important. Resolving conflicts, resolving these things, and rather than letting them stack and grow and constantly reappear in your relationship, it gets to be draining. Yes, even exhausting to just keep going around in circles and never bringing conflicts to a place of healthy and mutual sense of resolution. When conflicts go left, when they go unattended to, it begins to just feel like we're always in the same place. And eventually that will create emotional distance. If that emotional distance is not addressed, where you just feel unheard, you feel unseen, you feel undervalued, maybe not even valued at all. That's what the emotional distance is all about. It's almost kind of like feeling like the other person just don't care about me. They don't care about what I'm dealing with, what I think, what I'm feeling, my voice, my take on this situation. And so when there's no resolution, there can be a movement toward coldness and distance in your marriage or relationship. That resolution is crucial. It's all the more crucial depending on how deep the divide and the offenses may be, or the unresolved issues or conflicts may be. Let me just throw in this caveat, because this is space that I'm finding a lot with the couples that I have spent time with. When infidelity is unresolved, it will drive a wedge of distance. I was talking with someone the other day, and they were just saying, I said, hey, have you guys gotten back together? Have you figured that out? How was love making? We've been working on infidelity in their relationship. And she just said, nah, I'm not there. I'm just not feeling that. I can't see myself in that space with him. The good thing is they're working on it. But she said, I'm just not there. Because when these things go unresolved, when there's no resolution, when there's no healing, then distance ensues, coldness, almost this sort of, I don't really care. I used to love him. I just don't want to be with him right now. So when there's no resolution, and I want to encourage you, don't give up on fighting for resolution, for resolving the challenges and the issues. You don't have to live apart from one another. You don't have to live absent from one another. I know it can be painful, but there is help and there's hope and there's healing. I can't say that enough. All right. R number 2, you got to make sure that the resources are there. Let me talk to all of my guys who can sometimes be cheap dudes. And cheap doesn't mean you're broke. Let me just put that in there. Cheap doesn't mean you're broke. Sometimes cheap means you got all the resources you can stand. You just don't make sure that the resources are there to serve her needs. And yeah, there are a lot of women who can provide well for themselves, and sometimes they provide more than husbands bring to the table. We get that. But if a man mishandles the resources and she feels constantly like she's not going to be covered, she's not going to be protected financially, she's not going to be cared for financially, that there's always questions as to the financial resources, that begins to drain her because she will start to feel deeply insecure about the future. Might even be about the mortgage or about children's tuition, or can she go and take care of the needs of the family? And so when resources are poorly managed, it makes a woman lose respect for her man. Listen, you might be the guy who manages the resources and she brings more of the resources in. But if you waste the resources, if you don't handle the resources well, it's difficult for her to want to be close to you. It's difficult for her to want to make love to you. I'm just saying, no woman wants to keep making love to a dude who doesn't handle the money well, because her security is tied to it. And if her security is tied to it, it's hard for her to feel secure with you if the resources are not managed well. All right, here's a third R. Here it is. Bear with me because this may not be your space, but it's somebody's space. Religious leadership. Religious leadership. I'm talking about spiritual leadership. Now, I'm a pastor. I come from a biblical background. I've been working with people in this space for many years. And what I find women want so much from their men, they want you to go to church with them or go to synagogue or just pursue this area of spiritual growth and nurturing in your life and sharing it with her. And I don't know why we stopped talking about this so much, like it's not important, but it's really important. So many of the women that I speak with and I work with are like, I just wish he would lead in this area. I wish he like, well, what does that mean? Because sometimes the guys don't know what it means, what it looks like. And there are a lot of dudes who are doing it well. Let me just be clear about that. But there are a lot of guys who don't know what that means. It simply means just show up and go and join in the conversation and work on your own relationship with God. Work on your relationship with God because it's important. It may be important to your wife or to your partner. It may not be a thing in your relationship. And if that's the case, then cool. All right, that may not be a challenge, but it is often one of the top 5 matters that can cause a woman to feel like you're not really partnering with her in this vital part of life. All right, here's number 4. Rest. She tired. That's what I say. She tired. She tired. Growing up in the South, we would say she's tired, right? She's tired, right? She is She's doing everything she can. She may be navigating and managing work and young children. But when she's exhausted, if she doesn't feel like she has your full support and engagement, where she's exhausted, giving her breaks and making sure that she can have some rest, she'll start to resent you. I had one lady say to me recently, I do everything. I do everything. I got to make all the appointments. I got to schedule the dates. I got to schedule the children's lives. I got to pick up this person and that person and make the meals. I'm tired. I just wish he would help me. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. That's what she said. And she meant it. And she just didn't have any desire to be with him intimately because she said, I'm just tired and I feel like I'm all alone. I'm all alone. I'm all by myself. Listen, exhaustion will lead you to a place where you get cloudy and where you don't want to be connected to someone because you don't have the energy or the capacity. And so listen, guys, I'm telling you, listen to me, hear me good. If you can give her some rest, if you can take the kids. So here's what I did. When we had 4 small kids, they were like, all of them were in diapers at one point. It felt like 4 and under, 5 and under. Every week, I would just take a day where I would go to work later. If I couldn't take the day off, I would go to work later and I would just let my wife go and be and chill. And then I would come home every night and I would, after dinner, I would put the kids to bed. I would give them their baths. I would read to them and I would pray with them and I would put them to bed. Like, don't hate your guy. Don't hate your guy. Don't hate me, right? Don't hate me because I was great. I'm just saying, I figured it out early that she needed some rest. She needed to be able to recover. She needed to have some points in the day and in the week where she could look forward to being alone, going to get her nails done, going to get her hair done, being able to just be away from little people. She needed some rest. And I'm telling you, if you help her get some rest, she gonna be all over you. Yeah, because that says to her, you care about her and what she needs. I'm giving you all these good coaching tips. You better run with them, and it'll make a difference. Let me give you R number 5. And before we talk about romance, I want to tell you about a great resource. If you are ready to take your love life to the next level, check it out. If you've been struggling with your love life, it can be one of the absolute most stressful, draining, overwhelming experience to have. And some of us have that experience time and time and time again, and day after day after day after day. And you might be feeling like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Why can't we communicate? Why is it so hard for my partner to get me? Why is it so difficult for us to actually stop and resolve the conflicts that we have? This is not an uncommon thing. This is not an uncommon challenge that people are having in their romantic relationships. And I want you to know that you are not alone. I also want you to know that they really should have taught us better, right? Why didn't they teach us that someday we're going to want to fall in love and get married and have families and all of those things? Uh, but they didn't teach us relationship skills. They didn't teach us how to be good partners to one another. And we go through our educational systems and we get all of this education: how to be a good lawyer, how to be an amazing doctor, how to be a great artist, how to be an amazing teacher, all of these professional skills that we learn. And no one teaches us how to have great relationships. And so we go off, we get our degrees, we become successful, and then the thing that is challenging us on every level, around the clock sometimes, are our romantic relationships. Hey, I got something for you. It is the Build a Better Love Life Challenge. I want to help you get the 5 skills. Yep, you heard it. It's 5 skills, 5 important skills. Nobody seems to be talking about these for some reason, but they're 5 simple skills. Anybody can learn these. I learned them. And if I could learn them, you can learn them. I want to teach them to you in 5 days or literally 5 nights for about 1 to 2 hours. I want to teach you these skills so that you can change the game. Hey, you may not be married to or connected to the wrong person. You may just lack the skills you need to have a great relationship. Join us for the Build a Better Love Life Challenge, and let's help you get those skills. Let's help you take the stress out of your relationship, make it more enjoyable. Let's put the laughter back in your love life. I'm Rod Harrison. I'd love to see you in the Build a Better Love Life Challenge. All right, make sure that you click on the link in the description for the Build a Better Love Life Challenge. It's coming up in just a few days. You do not want to miss this. I'm going to teach you 5 powerful skills that will change the game in your love life. How you connect, how you resolve conflicts, how you communicate, and so much more. I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer, and all at a price anybody can afford. Listen, invest the time, invest just a tad bit of money. It's going to make a huge, huge difference in your love life. All right, so we've been talking about why women go cold, and what are the things that we need to do to make sure that we revive our connection and our passion in our relationships when a woman has grown cold. Because as we said, men grow cold, become distant. The same thing can happen with women. Hey, we are human. And so we've said so far, you want to make sure you're resolving conflicts, and especially if it's a deep, deep conflict, a deep wound, a deep pain like infidelity, you got to resolve it. If you leave it alone, it only gets worse. We talked about resources, managing the financial resources in particular, because women need to feel a sense of security, religious leadership, or spiritual leadership. But I needed an R. Come on, work with your guy. I needed an R. And so we call it religious leadership. When guys get involved in going with their wives, going to church, going to synagogue, engaging in the conversation, the dialogue, it is a powerful power. In fact, my wife said to me, when she watches me lead in that area of our lives, of our relationship, she said, "You just get sexy." She said, "I just like that. I like watching you read the word and talk about the word." She says, "I like that. That turns me on." Do not hate your guy. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. I'm just telling you, I learned. I'm trying to share it with you. All right, let's get this last one. Oh, it was a rest? Yeah, rest was a big part of it. And then lastly, let's talk about romance. Mm. She is sick and tired of just you jumping on her. She's tired of you just want the sex. You just want to get with it, hit it. That's what we used to say back in the day. You just it's just the sex for you. She's like, "I don't want to be an object. Your woman does not want to be a sex object for you." I'm not saying she don't know how to play and all of that. That's a whole nother video. What I'm trying to say to you is, if she has grown cold and doesn't want to be sexual with you, it could be because there's no romance. A friend of mine said to me the other day, he said, "Yeah, she told me when I said, you never initiate sex with me." She said, "It's because there's no romance. You just want to have sex." She said, "I'm tired of that. I'm already tired because of the kids, but I'm tired because you just want to have sex. Where is the romance?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm good. No, thank you." And it's not like women don't have needs. Come on, ladies, holler back at your guy. Like, yeah, you got needs, but you want some romance. You want to be held. Women say they want to be talked to, and they want to be able to share their dreams. They want you to say some sweet things to them. It's more than buying flowers. Flowers are cool, right? But it's about the emotional connection. They want to feel thought of. They want to feel like you made space for them. They want to feel like you're into them where they are, that you express your care, you express your appreciation for what they do, what they bring to the table, that you see them with eyes of empathy when they're going through difficult times, right? You don't skip over that stuff, right? Romance is not all that gooey stuff like the chocolates and the roses. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a beautiful dinner out. That's romantic, no doubt. When you plan it and you make it happen and you tell the maitre d', right, we're having a special night together. Was it your anniversary? Is it a birthday? Nah, it's none of that. It's just a special night for me and my lady. I just want to spend some time with my bride. That's what I call my wife, my bride. You understand? That's romantic. It's putting on some music and just sitting and enjoying the time together. It's conversation together. It's making space. Listen, I'll coach you up if you let me. If you let me coach you, I promise you, you're going to get all of that romance, all of that love, all of that connection. It's going to be warm. It's going to get hot. It's going to be amazing. But she's got to have some romance. Yeah, you can warm it up. It doesn't have to stay cold. But if you work on these 5 things, it's going to make a huge, huge difference in your relationship life. Hey, I'm Rod Harrison. It has been an absolute joy and honor to be with you in this video. Hey, if this is helpful to you, hit me up. Let me know that you got something out of this that was valuable to you. Make sure that you like and subscribe. As they say, it helps the algorithm. Listen, I'm trying to help as many couples as I possibly can. And I say me, but it's actually me and my bride because she is always in my corner. I'm just the one running my mouth because that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy helping people. And I enjoy seeing couples succeed. And listen, you don't have to be in a loveless relationship. There's so much more for you. And these videos are coming to help you. All right, I'll see you in the next video. But don't forget, join me for the Build a Better Love Life Challenge. I look forward to seeing you there.